looks like Keir Starmer, the current British Prime Minister, is in hot water once again. This time, according to a well-placed source, with none other than His Majesty the King. But what has placed Sir Keir in that hot water? As ever, let me explain. Hi, good to see you. Thank you so much as ever. Thank you for joining me today. Nice to have you. So we'll have a bit of wave than that. Are you all right? Thank you, as I say, for your time today. And yes, you know when you've got that sort of thing now with the cold where it's moved down and you sort of sounded a mixture of Telly Savalas and Kojak. You know your age if you know that, don't you? I remember when kids wanted lollipops because he always had the lollipop. I didn't know that Telly Savalas, I met him years later, by the way, and I didn't realise he did that to try and stop smoking. I know. Then you rot your teeth. This is the thing, isn't it? You know, there's never anything good, is there? Whatever you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, chums? Whatever you're trying to do, there's always another problem, right? So let's get back to your story of the day. Well, we all know this story now, right? The fallout, etc., with Trump and Zelensky, and of course Keir Starmer now welcoming, of course, Zelensky into Downing Street. Then there were talks on Sunday, etc., all of that sort of stuff. But you see, the problem that you have, and this is the bigger problem now, is when you sort of mix royalty into those politics. You see, what was fascinating was, as we know, Donald Trump, the current president of the United States, and very popular, I have to say, whatever people say, is incredibly popular over here in the United Kingdom. And there's all of these things going around about how they, you know, now to be disinvited and all this sort of stuff. I don't take that, you know, simply because popularity, basically, he will bring a lot of money into the country, and money's about the thing, isn't it? You know, we've got to sort of try and keep the buoyancy going, whatever the politicians try and do. But here's where it gets really interesting, because during that chat, as you know, Sir Keir Starmer, the current British Prime Minister, well, he was asked to personally invite Donald Trump for another state visit from His Majesty the King. Now, as I told you before, you know, Prince William and King Charles, Camilla and the late Queen all got on very well with Donald. He's a tricky customer, there's no two ways about it. Ego flattered, all of that sort of stuff. But he's also a world leader and naturally deserves respect. Whatever side of the politics you're on, I get blasted. I'm telling you this impartially. I would treat them all the same because whatever they've been voted for are in that position, right? Now, apparently, according to that source, you see, what's fascinating about this is, as you know, Sir Keir was tasked with the idea of saying, you know, on this visit to try and smooth the waters, because let's not forget, Sir Keir Starmer had openly said two things. He disliked the monarchy and would prefer a republic, and that's on record. Then he took a knighthood, and then, of course, he's been very disrespectful, along with every senior member of the current British government, about the current president of the United States. So it's not looking good, right? Now, basically, the king had said, invite him over. Now, what apparently, and as ever we have to say allegedly, Keir Starmer did was hand him the letter in the public domain. By that I mean on camera, literally. So President Trump opens it, and now he's wafting this letter around with his signature and all that sort of stuff, right? That should have never happened. The letter had to be handed privately. This would never have happened with Queen Elizabeth. But Keir Starmer, not giving a fig clearly about royal protocol and all that sort of stuff, just handed him the letter. Of course the president's going to open it. Of course he's going to read it and then put it down, because he's absolutely thrilled to pieces. According to a source, a lot of people are basically saying, was this deliberate? Did he know that? And more importantly now, of course, people have zoomed in on the letter. Nothing untoward in the letter, of course, but again, it just shows how classless these people are. You would have said, at what point do I give him the letter? He would have been told that. But clearly nerves, desperation, trying to get things over the line, and the fact that clearly, you know, the president just really wants to deal with His Majesty the King, or indeed Prince William, must be quite, shall we say, difficult to say the least. Either way, it looks like, while they're friendly on the outside, behind the scenes, not as friendly as you may think. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.